더 나는 걸 못 쳐다보는 게 더 보여. 왠지 그럴수록 더 난 당당해져. 기분 좋아지는 걸. 머리 넘기면 어디든 지나가네. 내 달콤한 향수가 흩날리게 yeah. 항상 날 꾸미는 게 좋아. 예쁜 게 좋아. 근데 들어봐 yeah. 나도 알아 내 모습이 예뻐 보일지도 당돌한 걸지도. 자꾸만 널 유혹하듯 보이겠지만 미안하지만 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요. 난 좀 다른 여자인데 걱정 화려해도 아직 두려운 걸 you should know. I'm a good girl yeah. 너무 세게 안으면 숨 막혀요. 조금 서투를지도 난 아직도 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요. Oh baby baby baby. 패션은 과감한 게 좋아 like it. 튀는 게 좋아 어떻게든 소화. 가끔 나조차 진짜 내 맘을 몰라. 그럼 나지만 나도 알아 내 모습이 예뻐 보일지도 당돌한 걸지도. 자꾸만 널 유혹하듯 보이겠지만 미안하지만 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요. 난 좀 다른 여자인데 걱정 화려해도 아직 두려운 걸 you should know. I'm a good girl yeah. 너무 세게 안으면 숨 막혀요. 조금 서투를지도 난 아직도 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요. Oh baby baby baby. Alright alright alright. 드러나는 모습뿐인걸. Alright alright. 눈으로만 날 판단하지 않길. 꾸미지 않은 내 모습 있는 그대로의 모습 좋아해줘. 아직 여린 내 맘 꼭 알아줬으면 해 yeah. 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요. 난 좀 다른 여자인데 겉은 화려해도 아직 두려운 걸 you should know. I'm a good girl yeah. 너무 세게 안으면 숨 막혀요. 조금 서투를지도 난 아직도 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요. Oh baby baby baby.
Lemonade, lemonade.
제대로 건드렸어 you. 또 뒤로 숨어서는 typing. 너무 쉽게 보여 cool. 그만 떠들어댈 timing.
Yeah, 드러내 real name. 가짜는 걸러내 try barricade. He's gone. 왜 나를 찾아보다 밤새. 가차 인정해서는 너무 관심.
서둘러 숨겨봐도 잘라낼 거 proof. 거짓 변명 따윈 던져 to the roof. I'm sipping all day 너넨 다 투명해 그저 내 눈에.
Lemonade tastes like lemonade. 휘저어난 hurricane. 안 들려 네 목소리는 noise. Tastes like lemonade. 짜릿하지 everyday. 삼켜버려 got me feeling good.
Tastes like lemonade 휘저어나 hurricane 안 들려 네 목소리는 noise. Tastes like lemonade 짜릿하지 everyday 삼켜버려 got me feeling good.
달려갈 like 소금차. 무대를 터뜨려 like cherry bomb. 퇴근하잖아 irregular. You can catch me cause I don't wait. Hold up,
Hold up.
듣고 싶겠지 like me 질릴 때까지 bite me 네가 아무리 copy 해도 영원히 bite me I just spit
Yeah.
I don't quit no 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 counterfeit 너 와의 흉내 못 낸 day and night. 안달이 나겠지 다 타올 내 my juice 약한 너와 달리 굳건한 my crew. I'm sipping all day 따윈 안 masquerade 그저 내 눈에.
Lemonade.
Tastes like lemonade. feature on a hurricane. 안 들려 네 목소리는 noise. Tastes like lemonade. 짜릿하지 everyday. 삼켜버려 got me feeling good. Let's go.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good evening to everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank you to you guys for spending your time to join our webinar for today. Today we will bring one interesting topic to discuss about in our webinar, which is anime versus cartoon. So without further ado, I am your moderator for today, Farah Nabila binti Muhammad Syam, and I will introduce you with our other two panel. So for our first panel, I represent you, Nur Shahinda Zawiya binti Abdul Rahman. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Nur Shahinda Zawiya binti Abdul Rahman. I'm from Ipoh Perak. I'm 19 years old and still studying in Capital Ipoh in my semester 4 for Diploma in Multimedia.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shahinda. That's a little bit about our first panel. Next, we will move on to our second panel, Nur Mashitah Yana binti Muhammad Khairi.
Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. My name is Mashitah Yana binti Muhammad Khairi. I'm from Kuala Lumpur. I'm also 19 years old and still studying at JPTM Ipoh in my semester 4 for Diploma in Multimedia.
Thank you, Ms. Mashitah. So we already know a little bit about our two panel for today. So without further ado, my first question for our first panel, Ms. Shahinda, can you explain a little bit about anime?
Yes, sure. First of all, thank you, Miss Moderator, for that question. So the word anime is the Japanese term for animation, which means all form of animated media. The Japanese animation style consists of colorful graphic, vibrant character, and the theme that they cover are also much more mature than cartoon. Anime is used in Japanese education, marketing strategies, magazine, movies, and also books. And you can easily identify anime just by looking at the different characteristic feature, which include a large eye, big hair, and elongated limb. Now, anime is the closest that you can get to real life, and the anime character also look more realistic than cartoon because they have a physical feature which mimic the real human. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shahinda. Next to panel 2, Ms. Mashitah, can you tell us about cartoon?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. So, as we know, cartoon is alright. Cartoon is also a two-dimensional illustration, which is typically narrative or semi-realistic style. The specific meaning has evolved. The intent of making cartoon is for portray characters and humor. Cartoon characters usually have features that are not realistic. They are simplistic and often have exaggerated body type or picture. When they are not animated right. Most of the cartoon characters are caricatures, which make them look more cartoonish.
So based on panel 1 and panel 2 explanation, we all know that anime and cartoon has their own characteristic. And we all might wonder what are the difference that have between anime and cartoon. So let's ask our first panel, what are the major difference that we can find between anime and cartoon? Ms. Chandra?
So the most obvious differences between anime and cartoon are their typical target audience. Cartoons tend to target an age range from babies to preteen or young teen. Example like Tom and Jerry that target people in kindergarten to early high school. And cartoon also pretty innocent and family friendly. While for anime, especially their most popular genre, which is shonen, they target teenagers and also young adult because anime contains ton of violence, strong language, and sometimes there is sexual scene. And we can see example like in Naruto, there is a fight scene, action scene, and even sometimes sexual scene. So it is important to note that the humor in Japan is drastically different in other countries too, because because for them that kind of joke is normal, but not for us. So we have to take note on that. That's all for me.
So, as we all heard from panel 1 just now, the target audience for anime is basically for teenagers and young adults. The question is why children underage around 12 years old and under are not allowed to watch anime. I hope panel 2 can explain a bit about this.
Thank you, Ms. Sudhatan. In my opinion, there are some anime that are designed for children, but mostly they are not. Example like Doraemon is Shinchan, a very popular anime that we watched when we still young. There a scene where Nobita can't fix Shizuka while taking a shower, which is very bad example for a children. Character in anime is more detailed and full of backstory where it is difficult to understand by a children. Compared to the voice cartoon like Tom and Jerry, where we can see that the Tom is the cat and Jerry is a mouse. From there, we can understand why Tom loves to catch Jerry. The animation for is more simple compared to anime. Anime use more common sense than cartoon. We can see in cartoon most of the characters that get hit repeatedly and even get squished by a car, but they still live, but different from the character in the anime. In anime, they have a death scene where the character die and never return. Example like Naruto, Jiraiya died battling with pain, so children cannot guess about that because they are still young to understand anything about that. Anime is more suitable for teenagers because it has a moral value that are not suitable for children because they have the love scene, sexual scene, and sometimes they are rude. Sometimes their jokes are a little bit rude. There are also many romance scenes in the anime and are only suitable for mature people. That's all for me.
Thank you, Ms. Mashito, for very long explanation. Now let's go back to our panel 1. Ms. Shanda, can you explain to us the difference between anime and cartoon in storytelling aspect?
Okay, so like what panel 2 just said just now, cartoon is for children's viewing and entertainment in accordance with the reception, light, simple, comedy, and humorous storyline. Most cartoon use bright colors to attract children's attention, and cartoon usually tends to be episodic and won't have a plot. Example like Gumball or Tom and Jerry. So cartoon also have a fast-paced story. However, anime handle their stories pretty differently. They usually go for more plot-driven stories, and anime loves to use flashback, slow motion, heavy dialogue, and also internal monologue. And anime has a slower pace because most are adaptation of manga, especially if both anime and manga run alongside each other. The anime needs to slow down a little bit, so the manga stay ahead of it because they follow the same story. That is why a lot of long-running anime will use a filler episode. So the conclusion is cartoon focus more on character differences story and anime focus on plot-driven one.
Thank you, panel 1 and panel 2 for a long explanation. From here, we can conclude that anime and cartoon has their own specialties and their own way of making animation. There is the difference between anime and cartoon like target audience, visual graphic, and also storytelling. And lastly, cartoon is from West and anime is from Japan, right? Before we ending this webinar, we will open Q&A session for our audience. So is there any question? You can write down below and we will answer after this. I
만났을 때 우리가 영원할 거란 걸 난 가끔 걱정이 돼. 세상이 너와 날 외면할 때 그래 사실 난 겁쟁이야. 좀 예민하고 소심할 뿐인데 하지만 괜찮아. 넌 유일한 내 편. 다시 태어나면 내가 먼저 널 안아줄게.
우린 같은 걸 보면서 이렇게 너가 날 안아주면 말을 건네지 않아도.
We will end this webinar for today. I hope you all gain new knowledge from this sharing. Thank you to our panel 1 and panel 2 for an excellent explanation. Thanks to all of you for joining our webinar. That's all from us. Thank you.
Panoramaの sunset 眠らない夜へいざなう街風の flavor とリズムの hit up 熱い予感に高鳴る胸月明かりが闇を照らすよ絶対は胸に揺れる影とどうよ解き明かしてみせるアンサーその手に秘めたミステリアス闇夜に浮かぶブルーサファイア引き寄せられた運命が輝くたびに巡り合う闇夜に浮かぶブルーサファイア駆け引きのジレンマ阻む真っ白なバラの時計届かないほど燃え上がるフィーリング鏡の中手を伸ばして瞳閉じて心開くように僕ら同じ夢を描くよ解き明かしてみせるアンサーその手に秘めたミステリアス闇夜に浮かぶブルーサファイア引き寄せられた運命が輝くたびに巡り合う闇夜に浮かぶブルーサファイア